Hello friends, it is Link the Gulf Coast Gardener coming to you almost live from Jamaica Beach, Texas on the west end of sunny Galveston Island. Today is Friday, April the 19th, and let's talk about flowers. If you live in Zone 9B, you should have a lot of flowers blooming in early spring and throughout the entire season. But check out what's blooming now. This first stand of plants is star jasmine. It is doing so well this year. It's been blooming for several weeks. It's going to bloom for several weeks more, and it smells incredible. Star jasmine is ideal for the Gulf Coast 9B. Now, walking this way, check out this Peggy Martin rose. Absolutely fantastic. Up and down the stairs, exactly what we had in mind. It makes some really pretty cut flowers. I think I see a monarch flittering around. He may jump into the scene here. And these are Victoria blue salvia. You know I love this flower. This is obviously a blue or a purplish plant. I do have a white volunteer in there, which is kind of cool. So Victoria blue salvia blooms year round. The butterflies love it. The bees love it. The people love it. It is a fantastic, no work flowering perennial. I cut it back maybe a couple of times a year, but beyond that, I really don't do much to it. And this is in full sun. Well, let's see what else is blooming. So over here, sometimes people don't think about herbs as flowering. Now these chive blooms are a little bit burned up, but still, I've been using these in cut flowers with the peppermint, and it makes a really nice arrangement. So herbs flower a lot too. You can even see the thyme blooming right there. Now this is a mist flower. It doesn't look so great. I've got a better patch I'll show you in just a couple seconds. This is a volunteer plant that I just let grow, but this is another favorite of the pollinators and the butterflies. So mist flowers are a really nice plant to grow here. Now let's wander down this way. Now this is spider lily. It's not blooming yet. When it does, it has the most gorgeous flowers. Maybe I'll throw a picture in here so you can see what a spider lily looks like. And this is a Mexican petunia. It is about to blow up with flowers. You can see these really pretty purple flowers. It's going to be covered with these flowers any day now. Now be careful with Mexican petunia. This bush has doubled in size over the last year. I'm going to get in here and cut around the outside of it and really cut it way back to keep it from taking over the side of the house. And here's a nicer patch of the mist flower. This is the same plant that I showed you earlier. This is what it should look like. Nice and vibrant and green and beautiful and covered in purple flowers. Now here is another stand of that Victoria blue salvia. I grow a lot of this stuff because it's so easy. The bees are all over it right now. It is doing really well. And on this side, this is something new I'm trying. I actually direct seeded these wildflowers in October, and I really did nothing else to it. And so I'm just kind of letting them go to see how they will do. I'm not giving them any supplemental water. I just want to see what'll survive. And the poppies have been doing really well. I've got several kinds of poppies in here, and I haven't done a thing to this patch other than direct seed in October. I watered it in a couple of times, but beyond that, I let it take care of itself. Now wandering over here, along those same lines, this is a gorgeous flower patch. I planted this. This is a mix, a wildflower mix called Hummingbird Haven that I got from Botanical Interests. And I've never grown hollyhocks before. And you know, hollyhocks are a biennial. They're supposed to bloom the second year. Well, I planted these in October, and if I'm not mistaken, those are hollyhock blooms. So I've got some pink hollyhocks. I've got some darker pink ones up here. I've got some flowers that I really don't know what they are. This one is blooming for the first time, so I need to identify that. And I've got a bunch of what I believe are delphiniums that are growing in here. It's the first time I've grown. I've grown this mix. There's a lot of phlox in here. Again, I direct seeded this in October. I watered it in, I weeded it a little bit, but beyond that, I didn't do anything. Look how easy this is. I am going to be direct seeding flowers every fall going forward. It's so cheap to get a few packets of seed and look at the results. It is absolutely stunning. Now, speaking earlier of herbs flowering, I love to grow a lot of dill. I really don't use dill that much in cooking. I will use it with my pickles if the dill's still around when the cucumbers are ready, but I love the flowers that this dill makes. This is bouquet dill with the tall yellow flowers, and this volunteers. It'll set seed, and it volunteers every year. I just dig it up out of the yard, and I never replant this bouquet dill. And down below, there's a container variety of dill. It's called fern leaf dill. I'm growing that in the container on the side of the house, and I just threw a few extra plants in there, but I love this big patch of dill. Now wandering over this way, I've got another patch of flowers. These big green plants at the end, this is part of a mix called Grandmother's Cut Flower Garden. Again, planted in October. I only planted a small patch here because I needed this bed for other things like vegetables and arugula and whatnot. But look at these beautiful plants up top. I really didn't know what any of these plants were, but this is apparently Ammi, spelled A-M-M-I. It is a very popular cut flower, and these things are a good 6 feet tall, if not taller, covered in these gorgeous white flowers. And down below, I'm guessing more of that delphinium type stuff. I'll just have to identify it to find out exactly what it is. But again, direct seeded in October, no brainer, didn't do a thing. Now wandering over this way, this is a patch of passion flower vine. And this is absolutely covered in flowers. When I zoom in on this, look at all of the blooms. There are almost as many blooms as there are leaves. Now they'll open up as the sun comes out. Right now they're all closed, but they were opened up yesterday, and there are literally 100 flowers on here. I've never seen this plant bloom quite so prolifically. But I really, in addition to the flowers, I also grow this because it's the host plant for the Gulf fritillary butterfly, and I've had some butterflies around here already. I'm sure if I look, yep, that wasn't hard. Check it out. There is a Gulf fritillary caterpillar. Look how cool those guys are. I will have hundreds of these caterpillars covering this passion flower vine, and it will wipe it all out. But then I will have hundreds of Gulf fritillary butterflies, which is the main reason I grow this plant. Now here's something else that's a really nice early spring flower. This is borage, another favorite of the pollinators. It actually will get 4 feet tall. These are transplants that I dug up out of the yard, and so they're kind of puny looking. This one's kind of drying up. When it starts to get warm, they dry up and die, but it'll self-seed itself, and this will come back here year after year. And it's just covered in these really interesting looking blue flowers. So again, for the cost of a packet of seed, you can have some really nice flowers that will come back year after year after year. Now let's continue on around the side of the house. Now here's something that I grew for the first time last year. These are ice plants. Now I bought these at the nursery, but I've got the most gorgeous ice plant up on the deck. And I had one last year and I replaced it with a different one this year. I'll put pictures of both ice plants so that you can see what they look like. But these love the full sun. Sometimes getting things to thrive on a hot deck that gets lots of sun is a challenge. Ice plant doesn't care. Get it established. It really doesn't need much water, and they're really foolproof, and they're easy to take cuttings from and make more plants. Now I mentioned the Victoria Blue Salvia earlier. Well, this is a new kind of salvia that I'm growing. This is it's a red salvia. It's called, oh, I can't think of the name. I should have written it down before I started, but I can't remember. It's a red salvia. I'll put the name up on the screen. I didn't get it in the ground soon enough. I started all these from seed, but they're starting to flower, and they are bright red. Now, I've heard that the red salvia isn't quite as heat tolerant as the blue, so I put it over on the east side of the house, so it'll get lots of morning sun and then get some relief in the afternoon. And this is something else I'm really enjoying. These are violets. I started these from seed a couple of years ago, and they have been flowering all spring, so really happy with these violets. So I've got this nice patch of violets mixed in with the red salvia. It's going to be really pretty. It already is really pretty. And something else that's been flowering for me this year quite a bit, this is an aloe plant, and this guy has got 4 flower stalks on it. I cut off 5 or 6 just last week. It loves this spot, so get your aloe where it gets mostly afternoon shade, some morning sun. Doesn't require much work at all. They are just foolproof plants, and they flower. And of course, I've got some more of that beautiful star jasmine on this side of the house. And this is a citronella plant that I had in a pot for a couple of years, and I just needed to put it somewhere. I was tired of keeping it watered all the time in the pot, so I put it in the ground. And a lot of people don't know this citronella flowers, but this guy's been flowering nonstop for a couple of months. These beautiful pink flowers, and of course citronella smells amazing. Some people call it the mosquito plant. I don't really think it repels mosquitoes. I just like to grow the plant, and I love just the way it smells. And the flowers are actually beautiful as well. And check out these guys. This is society garlic. I got these in a plant swap a couple of years ago, and I finally found a place to put it. Let me get over the top so you can see how pretty these flowers are. These things flower constantly, and you can actually use the leaves as a garlic seasoning. I just use it to grow the flowers, but they are absolutely beautiful as well. And more of the star jasmine, which we all know and love. And a couple of more things to talk about. So this is my Mexican oleander plant. I've got another one over there. They make really nice container plants, but they either have yellow flowers or these really pretty peach flowers. I'm fortunate that my neighbor gave me the one with the peach flowers, and look how pretty these things are. They are absolutely beautiful. The pollinators love it. Those big black carpenter bees climb inside and completely disappear. So Mexican oleander, and once you get your plants established, they'll start making a lot of seeds. So I have raised probably 200 or 300 of these plants that I started from seed. I've got 2 flats in the back that I just seeded this week. So once you get your plant established, even if it dies in the winter, if you get it to the point where it's making seed, you can just start making as many more plants as you want, and you'll never run out of these Mexican oleanders. And this is a volunteer. This is an nasturtium that I planted in this pot last year, and it just, it's self-seeded. And next thing you know, I've got these beautiful nasturtiums popping up. Sometimes the volunteer flowers are my favorites. So anyway, that's a look at what's flowering here in Jamaica Beach. If you live in Zone 9B, you really should have things flowering from spring all the way through summer, all the way into fall until freeze wipes everything out. But thanks so much for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to post them under the video. Thanks for subscribing. I'm over 500, almost 500 subscribers, which kind of blows my mind. So thanks for subscribing. Share this with your friends and family who love to garden, and have yourself a fantastic day.